Hi, guys. Welcome to another live. I hope you all are having an incredible week. Or that your week has been good. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I can honestly say I'm a little bit behind. I can't get some things molded into place. Hello? So, my script for this live is really messed up. Don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Um, yeah, don't look at it because it's all messed up. Um, also, I am working on. Hold on. I am working on. Sorry, guys. I am working on getting the story for the Scribes channel. Well, hey people. We're going to try to get started. For those of you who follow the other channel, I am working with the scribe to get the story just right. It itself is done and it is typed up, but getting the intro and the outro right is not. It's just not happening. So I'm gonna redo those. Maybe get a good feeling on it. I don't know. So earlier today, hi everybody. Earlier today, I announced the wrong shark for today's conservation spotlight. I don't know if anybody noticed, probably not. But in the event that you did, hi J. Harrison Cameron, Junior Harrison Cameron. I'm not sure if it's J.R. Harrison Cameron, not sure. But anyway, I gave y'all the wrong shark. We are going to be discussing we're going to be discussing another shark who also feeds on plankton, but more often than not, does not hang out in the tropics. In fact, it tends to hang out in more temperate waters. Today, we are talking about none other than the second largest fish in the world. That is the basking shark. Now, like the whale shark, this guy feeds on plankton. Now, if you don't know what plankton is real tiny animals and probably also plankton, photoplankton. Now, these guys can grow to be 12 meters or 40 feet in length or a little bit bigger, which I have to admit is an intimidating size, but that doesn't change the fact that this species is basically harmless to humans. These animals do not give birth to a huge number of babies. Instead, they give birth to just a few pups. Now, these pups can reach 6 feet or 2 meters when they are born. So they are by no means a small baby. As I already mentioned, you can find these animals in temperate waters. Yes, live births. You can find these guys in temperate waters both north and south of the equator. They may reach 45 feet in length, so somewhere between 40 to 45 feet in length, and they can weigh upwards of 10,000 pounds. Their liver makes up about 25% of their body weight, which I believe we will come back to that a little bit later in our live. They can also filter around 4 million pounds of water or 1,814 metric tons of water every hour. And they need to do that because, after all, they feed on basically microscopic organisms. Now, unlike the whale shark, which is in some aquariums around the world, basking sharks are not. So your best chances of seeing them or if you live in the UK or you're visiting the UK during the summer, they do excursions out to around the sharks so you can see them. So, any questions up to this point? Wow, we are facing another issue in live. Wow. Okay. Why is this animal endangered? Well, right now, there are no fisheries that are targeting this animal that I know of. However, they were targeted for their meat, their fins, their skins, cartilage, and their liver oil. Hence that really large liver. Now, their fins, I don't know why that ear is bugging me. Their fins alone could bring somebody, probably yes. Their fins alone could bring in $57,000 for one fin. Wait, what did I say? 57,000. I'm sorry. That should be, if I said 50, I made a mistake. It should be $57,000. Or 42,293 pound sterling. So lots of money just for one fin. You can imagine for somebody who needed the money, that could provide lots of money. However, they are still sometimes caught in nets. They are also, sadly, frequently hit by boats in the waters around the UK. It happens. Awesome, Alan's World of Reptiles. Me too. So, what is being done to save these animals? They are protected by several laws. They are protected by CITES, which means that you cannot legally import them, export them, and that includes any parts of their body. There are bans put on fishing them or hunting them. Ecotourism around this animal is sustainable as long as boats do not hit this fish. And I want to stress that this animal is in fact a fish and not a whale. So, any questions? And know before you ask, I do not have a count of how many animals there are out there. I did leave out something though, so let me go back. They are listed as endangered. Second largest fish in the world, and the second largest shark in the world. they are also, population trend is for decreases in population. Number of mature individuals, I believe megamouth is smaller. I can check that though. Megamouth looks like 18 feet. So megamouth is 18 feet, somewhere between 17 to 18 feet. And wait, let me make sure. Hold on. I don't like relying on AI. So, yeah, whale sharks are the biggest. The basking shark can make 45 feet, but the megamouth possibly 18 to 16 feet. So they're not quite the biggest. Though it is one of the larger ones, most definitely. No, you are fine. You are fine. That's why I do these, because education is key. Yeah, they are gentle giants, just like the whale shark. Alan's World of Reptiles. Are you subscribed by any chance? That's okay. I like mega dinosaurs too. Awesome. I'm gonna give you a cyber high five. The thing about doing these videos these lives on endangered animals is I'm always taken back, because there is a stat that I had in one of my reports when I was in college or whatever, where 30% of the animals that you go and see at zoos would probably be extinct in my lifetime. And I'm quickly approaching 60 is still a ways away, but it's a scary thought. There are no zoos or aquarium. There are no aquariums that house this animal, which is weird considering that there are aquariums that actually house whale sharks. I find that odd, but it is what it is. Sharks and all their different forms are amazing, and I love them all. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Well, I need this right now. My hands are... That probably has a lot to do with it. We have tried keeping keeping white sharks, and it just does not work. I really, really wanted to get out to Monterey Bay when they had their great white, and I couldn't get there. But I did see it on camera, so I'm counting that, and I'm holding to that. It's not quite the same, but, you know, it was live. It was a live camera. Someday I would like to see a basking shark in their natural habitat, but I don't see that happening. So, are there any questions about the basking shark? Because I do have another topic that I want to hit on that has nothing to do with sharks, believe it or not. Well, you guys, if something happened where humanity was dealt a hard blow and we're gone from the planet and the animals were left behind, yeah, over time, I don't see that happening, no. Unfortunately. I feel like if something happened to humanity, it would also impact the animals. But what do I know? I'm just a guy behind a phone talking to you guys. So, last week, I think it was last week, in one of my lives, the live got interrupted by the sound of American robins being very unhappy with something in the yard. They would not stop chirping. We found out together as a part of live that it was screech owls. If you don't know what screech owls are, they are one of the smaller species of owl in North America. Anyway, what I want to talk about is important to screech owls and to other animals that live and feed in sort of the same way that they do. So, screech owls feed a lot on insects, and they will also take small rodents. Needless to say, if humanity uses and continues to use pesticides to get rid of insects and rat poison or mouse poison to get rid of rodents, it can impact the predators and scavengers that feed on these animals. It can poison the animals that feed on the insects and the mice or whatever. And it also impacts other animals as well. We used to have a large number of lightning bugs Well, not necessarily. But the problem is we are losing insects like you would not believe. Insect populations have taken a nosedive. Guys, I'm sorry. I sit up and these old bones can't take it. Unfortunately, things like skunks who will forage for insects also, they feed on grubs. So if you're poisoning the grubs, you're taking away food from the skunks. And some of you might say, well, that's okay because then we don't have to worry about being sprayed. But it is a catch-22. If you get rid of the skunks, you take away food from the great horned owls, because great horned owls and other birds can feed on skunks without any problem. Get rid of insects and you get rid of a lot of birds, because baby birds depend on insects and other smaller invertebrates in order to get protein. Other birds, that's what they feed on. Robins, American robins and European robins feed heavily on other foods. American robins tend to be frugivores, meaning that they eat fruit. Heavily eat fruit. If you use sprays in your yard, if that gets onto the fruit, it can poison the robins. Keeping your yard nice and pristine looking and nice and neatly mowed, you're actually hurting the ecosystem, because you will see less and less fireflies doing that. That's why in certain spots around my yard, I plant natural plants, and I don't get rid of those plants that are dead until late June, because I want to make sure that we have plenty of days that are warm, so that if there are animals nesting in them, they have a chance to get out. So I hope that that information helps you out a little bit. If you have questions or comments about that, feel free to throw those at me. There are. You're absolutely right. You may have to dig around for that information, but it is out there. And sometimes the animals that we think are so bad that are on our plants aren't so bad. Indoor plants can have issues. That can be a little bit harder to control. I'm going to have to help my mom with one of her plants. Hey, Sheldon. But for instance, if you have somebody in your family that absolutely loves eggplants and you grow eggplants, you could potentially get tortoise shell beetles feeding on your eggplants. That is not an issue. No reason to spray your eggplants if you have tortoiseshell beetles feeding on them. That is the larva, because they're not going to do that much damage to the leaf. Yes, they are going to feed on the leaf, but they're not going to kill the leaf. They're not going to kill the plants. So rather than spray it, leave it. That way, you're not putting pesticides into the air. You're not putting them on plants that animals might feed on, that might get transferred to other animals. It's a whole mess when you talk about food chain and toxins. Yeah. That is my soapbox for the day. Yeah. Now, there might be insects that do more damage. Like, for instance, squash burrow. Anyway, I'll put it into the video, into the feed. Not into the feed, but yeah, so those caterpillars that I just put in, they can kill a plant. Cucumbers, squash, pumpkin, melons, they can all be affected by this organism. And that's a little bit harder to deal with. Gonna be honest. But most things, if you have tomato worms on your tomatoes, pluck them off, throw them out into the yard, transfer them to a nightshade, let the birds have them. I don't know if they're poisonous to that or not, but there's always a better way of doing things. For those of you, I'm getting nudged a little bit. Not really. I'm being silly. The video for the other channel is going to probably be up Friday. That could be Japanese beetles. They will eat just about anything. Could be grasshoppers, slugs. I don't know if there's anything that lives on hollyhocks. I don't know. Sheldon, what's new? I have to make a few changes to the scribe. I hope they work out. Cross my fingers. Oh. Oh no. So I will have it up as soon as I can. But we'll see. I will get it up tonight, hopefully, assuming the weather doesn't go south. Which it could. Well, if it's YouTube that needs the update, then depending upon if you have I don't know if you have an iPhone or if you have a Android. I know, but I don't know enough about iPhones. No. Yeah, I don't like iPhones. I don't like this time of year. I don't like fireworks. I'm okay on the 4th, but I don't like them. I'm good. Oh, why? That's why. Hello, Plain Blood Man. How are you? That's really weird. So, Sheldon, if you go to settings, go to general, somewhere in there should be software update. What about YouTube? I like YouTube, yeah. I happen to love YouTube. It's sort of become my thing. If you like the shorter stories from my friend, um this one will be perfect for you. I agree. It's also good for research and development. The holdup on the story front is getting a good intro and a good outro. It's just not happening. I hate to say it. Yeah, I don't get a chance to do a lot of lives. I usually catch them afterwards for whatever reason. So there's that. Yeah, that's my favorite thing is getting into chat. Probably gonna do a chat Monday at 1 p.m. again. Sorry. Um, are you guys liking the new channel? Is there anything you don't like? I usually don't get it. I'm usually so tied up into the character and making sure that I'm doing it right every time that sometimes I get lost with everything else going on that I'm like, I don't know. I love the character and I love the stories. And believe me, there is no end to the stories, I think. Okay. Oh, I'm afraid to look at it. Oh no. That's not good. Well, there's nothing posted yet. So maybe that's a good thing. I wondered where you were at. I sort of expected to see your comments, so at least now I know. Oh, no. Well, I don't know what is going on with it lately. Like it does really good. And then it doesn't. In case anybody is wondering, the owls are gone. They were around for maybe 3 days, and I haven't seen them since. Oh man, what? I don't know if they're gone or if oh, very cool. I don't know if they are gone or if they're just fledged and ready to go. And Sheldon, I think you were right. I think some of them were going through, still had maybe a little bit of down on them. Especially if you look at some of the pictures that I posted today. That would be my guess. There were at least 5. Well, if you look at some of the pictures that I posted today, 2 of them have what looks like a fledgling on them. Like there was just a little bit of down, maybe. I couldn't tell for sure. But what's weird is, for as thin as my walls are, I'm surprised I didn't hear the parents. I have a friend who lives a few miles from where I live, and they actually have barn owls, which is really cool. I have no claim on any tribe. However, I would love to. I haven't either, but I've heard them. Usually in like the spring and the fall during migration. And they have one of those calls that once you hear it, you never forget it. I'm sorry, guys. You guys can't see me. Screech owls are very cool. I love owls. Well, I love every animal, but I like the surprises. And sometimes we get surprises. One thing I do want to mention, because I have been seeing it a lot. Yes, they do. No, I would not want to take I wouldn't want to take a talon to any part of my body. Um, One thing I've noticed, and I get it, not everybody is like me. But please, please, please learn the plants in your yard or around your yard. If you don't do it for me, do it for yourself. Please. Because honestly, if you don't know the difference between a raspberry, a mulberry, and a blackberry, We need to have a talk. Guys, I will be right back. Be right back. Sorry. Ow. Sorry, you guys. Hemlock, as in poison hemlock? It sounded like there was somebody in my yard. And if there were, I didn't want to, I didn't need you guys hearing me chasing them away. Sorry, guys. I'm going to indulge a little bit of chocolate. Is live okay? I had another mom, or saw where another mom contacted the poison group because they had found a mulberry and ate some. Another lady was concerned because there were kids eating fruit off of a tree, and she didn't know what it was. I'm like, well, I don't know what to say when people do that stuff. I just don't know what to say. Did we lose Sheldon? Ah. Well, guys, we are an hour and 4 minutes into this live. I think I'm going to say goodnight so I can work on the stuff I need to work on. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you all. Have a great day. I will see you guys Friday at 1 p.m. We are going to be talking about something. And in a minute, I will tell you what that something is. That something is... Oh, sorry. That something is a zoo to do. I still have not figured out what the second one's going to be, but once I do, I will let you know. So yeah. Saturday or Friday zoo to do, St. Louis Zoo. I will see you then. Peace out, everybody.